everyone, Miss Anna here. So I wanted to hop on here and give you guys just a basic quick little video on how to apply your recital makeup and or photo day makeup, or both, depending on how you're doing it. I'm just going to kind of share some tips and tricks I've learned over the years that might help you as well to make this as smooth as possible, because I know there are a lot of times I've had dancers, parents who came up to me and they're like, I don't wear makeup, I don't even know what to do or where to begin. So hopefully this video will help you kind of ease that nervousness a little bit. As we go along, a couple of things, I'm going to say like this part is for everybody, or I might say this is just for the older girls, and when I say older girls, I mean preteen and above, because there's some things that you just won't do with the littles, like your 3 and 5-year-olds aren't going to have the same makeup as your 18-year-olds. So I'll try to differentiate that as we go along. So with that, the first tip I have is make sure you have everything you need before you get started, and don't wait until the morning of to look to see if you have it. So kind of go through your list of what you need. Some things that I have written down here, because I tried to make a little cheat sheet, because I don't know about you guys, but this year has just flown by. I'm like, how are we even at this point in the year? Like, I have no idea. So you want to make sure that you have obviously your makeup. You want to make sure that you have some basic things like your makeup brushes, or you need Q-tips, as well as your makeup sponges, and then just different things like that you want to make sure you have on hand as well. And I'm gonna just say this, make sure you have safety pins, even though it has nothing to do with makeup. If you have anything to do with dance or theater, always have safety pins. First thing I'm gonna tip, I guess, is when you go to start your makeup, whether it's your makeup or your little dancer's makeup, you want to make sure that they're in either a zip-up or a button-down shirt. Don't put a t-shirt on and do all their hair and makeup and then be like, oh, let's just rip that right off, because you're going to undo everything that you just did. So that is my first suggestion, is make sure that you're in a zip-up or a button-down shirt. That will make things go a lot smoother. The second thing is I always start with hair first. So you want to make sure that you get your dancer bun or ponytail or braids or whatever you're doing. Make sure you do that first. And then you'll have everything out of the way for you to be able to do the makeup part. So button down, zip up shirt, hair up, done and out of the way. And also that part, there's a lot of, at least in my house, there's a lot of screaming, crying, tears when it comes to putting your hair up. Some days there's nothing and she's like, okay, yeah, whatever. And other days she's too sensitive and it just hurts and there's tears. So you don't want to mess up the makeup that you just did. So that's why hair is the first thing before makeup. All right, guys, I am ready, and let's start doing some makeup. First things first, as you notice, I had my glasses on, and I don't have them on now. I have an eye doctor appointment in the next, I think it's a week and a half from now, so I'm having to wear my glasses, and I can't wear my contacts, so I am blind as a bat doing this. So if you see me making strange faces or getting really, really close to the camera, I'm just trying to see what I'm doing, because that's how blind I am. So I just realized, because I made all these notes to make sure I touch everything, and I look down and I'm like, I can't read them. I'm too blind. So let's see what we get. We'll go from there. All right, so when you start, you want to make sure that you start with a clean face, no matter what. And I'll tell you this, if you're looking at your 3-year-old and you're thinking, she's got a clean face, I don't need to wipe it down, you're wrong, okay? I don't know how we do it, but every morning from the time we get in the garage and get her to daycare, somehow something has appeared on her face. And I'm like, I left with a clean face. How did you do this between there and there? So just make sure, especially with the littles, you wipe everything down. Make sure you're getting the milk and the yogurt and all that fun stuff off. And if you're older, you should be using a skincare routine, hint, hint, to make sure that you're taking care of your skin, or in my case, fixing the sun's damage from when you were in your 20s and all that fun stuff. So you want to make sure you start with a good clean face, and then you want to make sure you have lotion on. So put lotion on first, and that's going to help you put all your makeup on and help your makeup stay better and everything goes a little bit smoother, okay? So first things first, you put your lotion on. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do that step for you. All right, next step. All right, so I do my makeup a little bit different than what I know I was taught when I was younger, and a lot of people are kind of like, why do you do it like that? I do my eye makeup first, and then I do the foundation and all the other stuff. And the reason I do that is, to me, the eyes are the hardest part, and that's the most intricate, where you really need to get close and figure out what you're doing. And that's also the part where you get a lot of mistakes, or I know, like, I'll be doing my mascara and I sneeze and I throw mascara everywhere. And so if I've already had my foundation on, I'll have to start all over. I'll have to take everything off and start all over, and then it's a whole meltdown. It's a thing. Okay, so I'm trying to avoid making everything a thing. So I do eyes first, and I start with my eyebrows. So if you are a blonde like me, where you step out and you fry in the sun and you have light eyebrows, or if you're like me and we've plucked them away in the 90s and did all that fun stuff, you're going to need to use your eyebrow pencil and color it in. So as a dancer or theater, whichever one you're doing, you want, your eyes are very important in expressing the mood of the piece or the dance or whatever it is. So you want to make sure that your eyebrows are colored in so people can see them, especially on the stage when the audience is far, far away. So all you're going to do when you're doing your eyebrows, okay, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm scooting up in here, so sorry guys, okay, is for me, with the eyebrow pencil, you're going to just do little bitty swipes, okay? It's just little bitty swipes, and you're going to color that in. Now, I get very distracted very easy, okay? If you've ever taken one of my classes, you know that I'm like all over the place. So I always go along the bottom and kind of draw in the bottom part, so that way I'm not making it bigger and go down farther. And yes, I know I need to pluck my eyebrows. It's just been a crazy year, month, week, day, hour. It's just been insane. So that's a whole nother topic there. So what I do is I just take little bitty marks, okay, to color that in. So what you don't want to do is like push down and be like a little 3-year-old coloring it on their paper, where you're just like, and that's how you get those big scary clown, I guess that's the best way, where they're just like, okay, so you just want to do little light feathering. Okay, so we got that colored in. So at this point, what I usually do is I take my Q-tip and then I kind of go along the bottom and just make sure it's nice and clean where I want it, which I've stayed in there pretty good, so. All right, so you just do that eyebrow and then you do the other eyebrow. I'm not going to bore you with that part, so we're going to just skip over the other eyebrow and I'll do that behind the scenes. And I meant to, before we did the eyebrows, to say eyebrows are for everybody. So itty bitty all the way up. If you have light eyebrows, you need to be coloring those in. Just saying. All right, the next step. Now, this is one of those that if you are really serious about dance or theater, whichever one you're doing, you want to make sure, I highly suggest investing into good makeup for those performances. And it's not good to share makeup. So I know for like, if you're first one and you're just like, well, she could just use what I use, it's not the end of the world, but it's not good to share makeup, because I don't know about you guys, but kids are nasty, okay? And I've always thought kids were nasty, but since having my own, oh, they are gross. So I don't want to be sharing my mascara with the same girl that, no, not happening. So it's good to invest into their own makeup. So this next product that I put on next is the eye primer. This helps the eyeshadow stay on all day for the whole performance. It's not a must-have product, but it's definitely one, if dance is going to be your thing and this is what you're going to do, you definitely want to invest in. So you just put a little dab on your finger, okay, and then you'll just dab it on the eyelid, and then depending on the kind of makeup, like because we'll put some up here, you could put it all the way up, so just a little bit. But the eye primer is not a must. You don't have to have that, so don't freak out if you don't have that. It's just like if your kid's in a lot of dances or you're in a lot of dances, and you know, like I know I sweat very quickly and easily and a lot, then it's definitely worth the investment to get the eye primer. It just helps everything stay on cleaner, stay on better. All right, next is the shadows. Yay! So for the whole, how do I want to say it? It's kind of think of it like painting, okay? That's pretty much what makeup is. We're painting. And so when we do the eyes, you want to make kind of, that would be Miss Sophia making her little bark announcement there. When we're doing the whole shadow, we're going to start off with the white shadow. So we want to think of it as like it's your canvas. So we'll use you use your lightest color, which is usually a white or a cream color. And then you don't put it right on. You want to always make sure that you tap it, so that way you can get that extra eyeshadow off. Okay, and then you just go on and just lightly feather, just lightly, and you're going to take it all the way up. Okay, this is not the end all how you have to do it kind of thing too. I just want to throw that there. This is how I do it, and it's easy and quick. I'm all for easy and quick when it comes to makeup. Okay, so now remember, I'm blind, so I'm trying to. Okay, also remember, as you are doing makeup, it's going to be more than what you do for your regular makeup. At least I hope it is. Because you're on a stage or you're in a performance. So you're trying to do your makeup so that way grandma in the back row can still see your face. So even though it looks extreme and you're just like, dang girl, that's a lot. It's not for the person who's right in front of you. It's for that person in the back row who paid for their ticket and they want to see your face just as much as the person in the front row. Okay. All right. Zainab is outside playing with her dad. I'm just hearing their conversation sometimes. I'm like, what? Okay, and this is another right here. You'll see all this. We will actually clean this up when we put our foundation on, so don't stress out about that. Okay. So there you go. There's your base for your eyeshadow. And there is Sophia's cue. All right, so now that we have our base on there, the next one we're going to do is we're going to do our crease, okay? So this helps bring out the eyes and give them a little bit of shape and dimension to it. So we are going to use this color right here, and I'm going to put all the products and the colors and all of that stuff in the down below so that way you guys can see it. So we'll just do that. So same thing, you're going to take it, you're going to put your color in it, and then you want to make sure that you tap it so that way it's not going. Now with this, you're going to go, let's see if I can do it on this side, right where the eyebrow bone is, you're going to go right below it. So you're going right, kind of think of right in the eye socket area. Now I have hooded eyes. So when my eyes are looking straight ahead, which the camera's angled up a little bit. So if I'm looking straight ahead, you don't really see my eyelid. Okay. So it's like you put your eyeshadow there, but you don't see it. So I go a little teeny tiny bit above onto the brow bone, but that's just because I have the hooded eyes. So if you don't have the hooded eyes, don't worry about it. So what you're going to do is you're going to start, I start from here and kind of work my way in. So that way the heaviest, they're inside now. So that way the heaviest is on the outside and we'll be able to blend that a little bit better than going inside. Okay. Okay. And when I do this, let's see if I can do this up here. I just tap it right in the crease. Okay, this takes time, it takes practice, and we will blend that out, so it's not going to be that harsh. Okay. Now, if you are using, I don't even think I have one. So if you're using a sponge to put on your eye makeup, they have the stick and the little sponge on it. You'll just kind of like put the makeup on one side and then just stick it in there, and then that kind of helps. Okay, so we just do it here. Just tap it in right on the crease. And like I said, I go a little bit on the eyebrow bone just because of the shape of my eyes. So if you have hooded eyes, if you're, or your little girl or your little dancer has that, just put a little bit so that way we can see it. And then we're going to blend it out. Okay. So what we'll do next is you'll take your blender brush. If you don't have the blender brush, that's okay. You can actually use a Q-tip. And you'll just take it and you're going to just do little bitty strokes kind of upwards to bring that makeup up a little bit. Okay. And then I take it down here just a little bit to bring it down so that way you're framing the eye. Okay. So you just do, 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 do. And yes, you can make the sound effects if you want. And you guys want to make sure that as you're doing this with your little one, make it fun. Okay. I know it's stressful. I know you're like, oh my God. Don't get them all right. They're already nervous about their performance or photo days or whatever, so they don't need that added stress, and neither do you. So just make it fun. All right. So, and you guys, I've spent so much time, I'm like, blending. How do you blend, blend, blend? Okay. It's just, all that is just little bitty strokes, almost like you're going flick, flick, flick. That's all that is. Flick. Okay. And that's just to smooth it out so you don't have that really harsh line. Now, I'm not going to spend forever doing it because you guys have better things to do than watch me do that. But that's the basic idea. So that just goes right into that crease. And then what I do is I go back with the white, back on the eyelid part just to smooth it out and give it a more clean look. And remember, we still haven't put our foundation in, so all that other stuff is going to be taken out. And like I said, when I put the foundation on, we'll be able to clean this up and give it a nice pretty shape. So that's the basics for that eye. So you just go right underneath the eye socket, and then if you have the hooded eyeshadow, you can go up just a little bit. But if you don't have the hooded, I wouldn't do that because then it's going to look like you put it everywhere. So you should, in theory, have space between this darker part and up in your eyebrow. Okay, so that's going to give that look. So just pay attention to that, okay? All right, so there's your eyeshadow. And like I said, we're gonna clean it up, so don't freak out on that. The next part is, okay, really quick, the eyeshadow part, that's for all ages. So everybody's gonna need eyeshadow no matter what your age. Sorry, guys, that part's just bugging me. Okay, so it doesn't matter the age, you're gonna need an eyeshadow. So the next part is my least favorite part, but it's probably the most important, and that will be your eyeliner. So itty bitties, like your 3-5-year-olds, even maybe a little bit up, they don't need the eyeliner. They're gonna already have the natural big eyelashes, so you'll be good to go. So the older ones, you guys need your eyeliner. When you're doing eyeliner, there's a couple different ways you could do it. I personally am a liquid eyeliner person. I love liquid eyeliner. I live by liquid eyeliner. Takes a lot of practice. And then the other option is your pencil eyeliner. And then another option for the beginners would be to use your eyeshadow. So I'm going to do one eye with the liquid eyeliner, and I will do one eye with the, and I need to stop touching my face. And I'm going to do one eye with the eyeshadow to kind of show you the difference and how you can do that. Okay. Now remember, I'm blind as a bat. Okay. So we're going to try this the best we can. If you're new to makeup and you've never done makeup and you don't have any bad habits to make, one of the big things is don't pull on your eye. However, I've got the bad habit, and I'm also older and more mature, so I have some wrinkles in places that I don't want to admit. So I have to pull a little bit just to get that all so I can get my liquid eyeliner on. The key with eyeliner is to make sure you do it in pieces. Don't put it and then draw it, because that's how you're going to get messed up. The eye's going to move all over and it's going to just be a hot mess, and your kid's going to be screaming. Okay, so you just want to do kind of think of the song Connect the Dots, la 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 la. Okay, so that's what you're doing with your liquid eyeliner. And as well with the liquid eyeliner, start in the middle, not on the end, and start in the middle and then work your way out, and that way you'll be able to gauge the size of it. Because I do more of a small and then I get bigger with my eyeliner, and that just helps give it more shape and make it a little bit bigger. There's so many different ways to do eyeliner. This is how I personally do it. Whenever you have time, that's something that you can get on Pinterest, look up, you know, whatever you need to do. So with the liquid eyeliner, I start in the middle. And I just do little bitty strokes. Also, when you're doing it, you're not going in like this. You're not drawing or writing your name. I use the side of the pen, okay? So we're slowly getting. So what I do to kind of give me that little baby cat eye look is I go from the middle and then I go straight out, and then I'll color in the rest. Guys, this is really interesting without my contacts. Whew. Okay, so you're getting the basic idea. And then what I'll do is I'll come in here and do little bitty right along the lash line. Okay, right along the lash line. And eyeliner for dance should just give your eyes more pop. It's not to be dramatic unless your costume makeup calls for it. So you want to try to make it semi-natural looking, as natural looking as black eyeliner can be. And you want to make sure that you're using black, by the way. Really quick, when you do the bottom, because you're going to want to do the bottom, I don't use eyeliner on the bottom. I use eyeshadow. And that's just because my eyes are sensitive, and if you're in Missouri right now, pollen is everywhere and your eyes are watering and it's just a big old hot mess. So I use the eyeshadow and I just do a little bit on the edge here, okay? And I'll do that here in a little bit. On the edge, I don't do all the way across. If you do all the way across, it's gonna make your eyes look small. So I just do a little bit from like here to here, and with the black eyeshadow, just to kind of give it a total rounded look. All right, so now we're gonna try the eyeshadow side. So what I do is I have a very small pencil, it's been a long day. Small pen, oh my gosh, guys, brush. This is a brush, yay. Okay, so I do a small teeny tiny brush, and what I'm gonna do is I put it in water. So I brought a bowl of water in here because I'm not running to my bathroom. Okay, and then I'll just take it and kind of twist it a little bit to make it a little bit smaller. So you don't want it soaking wet, so you just kind of pull that there. And then what I'll do is I'll dip it into the black here, okay? And what the water does is it kind of, I don't want to say activates, but it makes it stay on easier. That's my technical term there. Okay, so the same idea that I did over here, I'm going to do over here, only it's going to be with shadow. And so what you're going to do is you'll start in the middle and just do little bitty brushes. Now, the thing with the shadow is it's going to be a little bit thicker than this, where the liquid gel, or the liquid gel, y'all, I need a nap, I'm done. The liquid pen, that's a much finer. So this is bigger. So that's why I was trying to squish it down there. This is where all the artists get to shine, because you'll be able to really get the fine print. But as you can see, it's the same look, only you're using eyeshadow instead of a pencil or the liquid eyeliner. Okay. So we got that, and then I'll show you what I'll do on the under. I'll do it on this eye. I can see that. This is my good eye. So we'll do it on this one. So you just take it and go underneath it. So when you are doing your eyeliner, do not put it on the inside, okay? That is so dangerous. Just don't do it. Really quick, I forgot to mention that the eyeliner you do, or maybe I did. I guess we'll find out. The eyeliner is just for the older ones, not for the little ones, so you don't have to do that. So just a reminder. Also, I do my eyeliner first, and then if you wear fake eyelashes for the older ones, I do the eyeliner first, and then I glue my fake eyelashes on top of it and then kind of smear it out. But you could do it either way. It's totally up to you. It's one of those, you need to make sure you're practicing your makeup before the day of, so that way you know how it's going to work. Okay. All right, mascara. All right. Because my ring light here is dying on me, so we'll see how long it lasts. Okay, so you pull it out. You're gonna go the base of your eyelashes and go up. So you're kind of making like a little J, I guess, away from. And then as you practice it, you can also start turning it, and that will help too. So you start at the base and you go up. And then as you work, you can start turning your mascara. That helps. And then there's also the take it back and forth. So there's a lot going on with your mascara. So with the littles, I would suggest, I don't have any in here. You could get one of those like circle face cleaning pads, and you can put that underneath, so that way if they're moving around, you're not gonna get it all over. Okay, I'm gonna just do this quick so you guys don't have to sit here. All right, now we're gonna do the face part. So if, as I was talking about earlier, if you're preteen and up, this is your thing, definitely get face primer. This is gonna help everything stay on, especially when you're on stage and you're hot and you're sweaty. This is gonna help your foundation not melt off, okay? So with this, you just put a little dab on your finger. I say a little dab, but I like the way it feels. And then you're gonna just pat it on your face all over. This is gonna help that makeup stay on. I can hear Zenab outside yelling for our neighbor. Our neighbor's like 97, and her and Zenab are BFFs. They talk garden. Okay, I got a little old lady as a daughter, but I'll take it. All right, so now you got your primer on. So this is something littles don't need, and honestly, littles do not need to do foundation either. So don't even worry about this part. So you could just kind of wait till we get to the blush. So this is more for your preteens and up. I kind of look at it as when your body starts changing and your hormones start changing and your face starts breaking out and doing all that stuff, that's when it's a good time to start the foundation and primer. And the one I'm going to use, I've been going back and forth on which one I'm going to use. I think I'm going to just use our basic CC cream that I use. This is my everyday one. This is not the one that I would use for the stage, but just with the way the weather is right now, I want to show you guys just kind of a basic one. So we'll do that. All right, since I'm using the CC cream, what I'll do is I put it on the back of my hand like that. And then I get my sponge and I make sure my sponge is wet. So kind of compare, this is what a normal size, this is it wet. Okay, and by getting it wet, since it's a CC cream, it's water-based, moisture, that kind of stuff. It just helps it go on a little bit smoother. So I just tap it on and you just put it all over your face. And I am not gonna make you guys sit here and watch that part. Okay, I will bring up this part right here. So as you're doing this and you can kind of go, you can kind of shape that straight up. So you may make sure that you're not smearing it around, but you can at least clean that up. And I like to do it where it goes from the bottom lid, I guess, and go up at an angle. So that helps lift the face, lift the eyes, and all of that fun stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go back. All right, so I got it on. The CC cream is our lightest coverage. So as you can see, the red is still there, but it is what it is. So, all right. All right, so once you get all that in, make sure you do along the jaw and down the neck, because you don't want to be dancing with a nice smooth face and then it's not matching, okay? So the next step is up to you which order you want to do it. I personally do blush and then I use my powder to kind of blend in the blush, but you could do it either way. It's up to you. All right, blush is something everyone is going to do, not just one or the other. So everybody's going to do it. I personally start with kind of our contour for our face, just to give my face a little bit of shape. So I'm going to use the brown. You do not have to do this, okay? But since I'm doing the face like I normally do, I got to do it. Okay, and your darker color goes on the bottom when you're doing your blush. So it goes right along the, right below your blush. Or your blush, good Lord, y'all. Cheekbone. All right, so there we go. Okay. And then on top of that, you'll do your stage color. So since I'm doing stage makeup and not my everyday makeup, I'm going to do the darker color so that way it will show up. Okay. And the blush, I just dumped it in my lap. Same thing. You want to definitely knock it off there. There we go. Okay. So when you're doing the blush, this is one of those that Mom and I always were like, it's too much. And she's like, you need more. And I'm like, it's too much. And she was always right. You know, moms are always right. So blush goes right above where that brown went. Now, this is really dark. So that's why I saved the powder for after so I can blend it and soften it. Okay, so I just do a little bit. So, I don't know. Mom would probably say that's right. I ain't doing it. So the next and last step for this part will be putting the powder on. So I use a loose translucent powder and I put that on. I put it on all over and it goes all over, and I really pay attention to the blush. That way I can make it as dark or light as I want. So that is what I'm going to do right now. So take it just like everything else, you want to do it so that way you're not getting powder all over and sitting here with blush in your lap. Okay, so I'm going to just start my powder and then I start going over my blush so that way we can blend it. All right, so just remember, now I got it all over here. Just remember, you're on stage, so you want it darker than you normally would. So if you're looking at it, you're like, man, that's a lot of brush. That's okay, because you're going on the stage, so don't worry about it. All right, the last step is the lipstick. Now, this is where I kind of have another tip or trick to share with you. So I'm really, really bad about putting on bright lipstick and then getting it everywhere before I get to where I need. I get to work and I'm like, how did I get lipstick over here? How did I get lipstick on my shirt? Just, that's how I am. So what I do when it comes to All right, sorry guys, then I just ran inside. So I'm not sure where we were, but we'll figure it out. So with lipstick, what I do is I don't put the lipstick on until I get to where I need to go, and I put my dance costume on, and then I put my button-up shirt on top of it. Then I put my lipstick on, because sometimes putting lipstick on, I've even dropped it, okay? And as you're doing your kids' makeup and they're all nervous and bouncing around, you don't want them to knock it and drop it. And then your whole costume's ruined. So always put that shirt on top, back on top again. So if you're driving somewhere and you're like, I gotta at least have something on my lip, I usually put like a very nude lipstick or a neutral lipstick, so that way at least my lips aren't as glam as everything else. So, but when you get there, you want to make sure you know whatever color your teacher wants. So we all know red is the color. So you're gonna put your red lipstick on. All right, so now that you got your bright red lipstick on and you're ready to go, another trick that you can do is you want to make sure, and some people are like, yeah, that's gross, but I'm like, I'd rather do that than have red lipstick all over my teeth, is you take your finger, stick it in your mouth, and then pull it out slowly, so that way your lipstick can clear off, and that way you won't get it on your teeth. So that is just another tip and trick there. All that would have been on my teeth, just saying. Just saying. So eyeshadows, blush, lipstick, mascara for the littles, everything for the older ones. Okay, then the last step that I personally do is I have a setting spray, and I spray it on. This one smells like roses, so I feel like a queen when I do it. So that kind of sets everything in, so then when you're up there dancing, sweating, doing what you need to, it's not as bad and it doesn't come off as quick. It's nice and set it. Now, I realized for the older ones, there is one more step that you guys can do. So if you're little, you don't have to stay for this one, but if you're curious, you can. So since you have your full foundation on, as you notice, I am a mother and I am tired, okay? So I have these. We do a concealer, and this is a natural color, natural for concealer. And I do 2 dots here, okay? And then I have this little red dot here. I always get that to cover, and that's your concealer. And so I take my sponge. This is a different sponge. I have sponges for each step, so just bear with me here, okay? I squeeze it, and then I can get into there, and what I do is I go and feather it this way, so you're not covering the whole thing. But that helps get that tired look. So if you're, you know, a working adult and you're getting ready for your recital and it's on the night of work and you're tired, this is a great way to cover up how tired you are. Boom. Okay, and then another trick, if you're wearing the foundation, so if you're a little mom, you're still on here, this won't go to you. So this is our highlighter, okay? And so what I do with this is I take this in the corner and I go up, so that's how I can get the shape over here. I just do a little flick, okay? A little flick. Okay, and just throwing this, you want to do this before you do your powder and everything, okay? But I wasn't going to take the time for the littles to sit there. Okay, and then I take the flat edge here and then I go in little bitty strokes upwards. Okay, so this is going to help, again, lift the eyes, make them brighter. This gives you that highlight over here, and it helps open up the eyes, so it's a bigger, okay? And then you just do little strokes over here. All right, there you go. You guys have an awesome night. Thanks for bearing with me. I hope this helped, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time, and I will talk to you later.